Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Lotus, Lotus the Sage. Thank you so much for joining me. So today's pick a card is going to be hopefully a fairly quick reading. What Spirit wants for you. You have choose a deck today. We are looking at an animal spirit that's going to give us what Spirit's message is for you specifically, like what they want for you. Then we're going to look into the tarot to get a little bit more context and get some guidance. And of course, we're going to end off with the manifesto motivation cards. So for pile 1, we have the Unfolding Path Tarot. Pile 2, we have the Neon Tarot deck. Pile 3, we have the Morgan Greer. And pile 4, the deck's name is totally missing me, but I obviously will write it down. It's gone past my brain. I want to say Enchanted Forest, and it's definitely not that. So anyway, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. All right, my beautiful collective, choose a deck. And obviously I was motivated to do 4 piles today. Spirit told me to do that, so that's why we got 4. So I will see you at your choice. Ciao. All right, welcome my beautiful pile 1. So let's find out what Spirit actually wants for you, and that's what, excuse me, this card here, the Animal Spirit Oracle, is the message Spirit wants for you. Spider Spirit, make your dreams real. Come on, pile 1. Number 56. My beloveds of pile 1, Spirit is very clear for you. Make your dreams real. They want you to, it feels more like taking the steps, putting in the action, setting the goal, making a plan. It's actually doing that process of going into it full-heartedly, almost tunnel vision focus, you know? They want you to have what you want. So with that requires a little bit more push from you, I feel, possibly more confidence. Interesting. Let's see what the tarot has to add. We have the 3 of Cups in the reverse. The King of Pentacles. The Queen of Cups. There's 2 messages I'm getting here from the tarot. First message is it might feel like you don't have the support that you might feel like you need, but Spirit is also saying, like, we're here for you. That is one clear message. 2, excuse me, the other message I'm getting here is that you may not be able to, for some, rely on people in the way that you had before. Like I said, it doesn't mean people aren't there for you, but in the way that you may have relied on people before, you Spirit's asking you to step into that personal authority for yourself. Especially with this King of Pentacles and this Queen of Cups. This King of Pentacles is that, well, first of all, financially stable, but just like materially stable, comfortable in one's skin, clear about one's decisions, has a great homestead, you know? And that Queen of Cups, that emotionally nurturing, emotionally intelligent and vulnerable, and emotionally in tune with what is needed. So a beautiful balance of earthy energy with emotional, which is passion, and that, in a sense, that emotional impetus to get this dream, that watery-like energy, that dream into reality. I'm also getting a sense of try not to compare yourself to others or other people's journeys, or how they got there or how quickly they got there is what I just heard, based on your perception of speed. I'm also getting here that there might be a masculine and feminine energy that might be very helpful or resourceful for you, or a benefactor in some way. A mentor, a coach. But there's like a very clear, like, you can do this, you got this, and we got you energy. That's lovely. I really like that. All right, let's see what this bridge point is. Sweet William, gallantry, grant me a single smile. I'll read that to you. It says, Sweet William, small has form and aspect bright, like the sweet flower that yields great Jove delight. What is that noise? You may not hear it. So what I'm getting here from this Sweet William's gallantry, grant me a smile, it's like show, carry, embody delight for this journey or this trajectory of your dream. This grant me a smile here is feeling like that. Just smile at what you need, smile at what you want, go after what you want, make your dreams that reality. And that Sweet William flower, as it's saying, it's small in form, but aspect is bright. So it might feel like it's, you know, a small goal or, you know, not that important, but the point being is like it is bright, it is needed. Oh my goodness, that noise. Wow. And then like a sweet flower that yields great Jove of delight, you know? Like I was saying, there's happiness to come with this. There is stability, there's joy, there's love, there's all of the things. It's really lovely. And then you have originality. I love that with Mercury and Aquarius. I love that. My lovely, I really truly feel like Spirit is telling you that your dreams can become a reality because your originality, your authenticity, your perspective is something that will benefit. It will serve. And it's not, and they keep emphasizing it's not done, it's not supposed to be done in the way it's been done before. Even if it is something that is, you know, tried, tested, and true, there's something original about your process or about you or about the way that you go about it. There's something that you are not necessarily supposed to fit into the traditional norm. Is there something interesting about that? Beautiful. Okay, let's see this other side of the bridge, friends. We have Judgment. I love this Judgment card. It's so pretty. Love it. Then we have Temperance, Holy Majors. And then the Queen of Wands. It's kind of interesting. You have two court cards, minor arcana, two major arcana, one court card. It's so interesting. Anyway, what I'm getting for you at the other side of this bridge here, so that you can step into making this dream a reality for you, is to give yourself an opportunity to look at it differently, to not necessarily feel like you have to rush to some particular outcome, to use your passions and your motivation in a very original way without anybody's interference is really what I'm getting. There's an alchemization of these balancing of these energies within you, the pentacle and the water, the practical and the emotional, that now gets to be, again, tempered, transition, alchemized into this passion energy of the action step, like I talked about, the doing of it. How do I get this moving into form? That's brilliant. Love that. Oh, they just also said like to temper your judgments about what you discover, what you create, what you're doing. It's like they just want you to follow that originality from that emotional, like the intention behind it, like why you wanted to do it in the first place. That technically that dream, you know? We have change underneath the Three of Cups in the reverse. High honor underneath the King of Pentacles. Ooh, and then we have Coffin underneath the Queen of Cups. This is lovely. Talk about double change, hey? Again, sorry for the glare. Nothing I can do about it right now. Can I cover it? No. Okay. Anyways, as we were talking about, there's going to be a shift in, again, like I said, either the way that you relied on certain people or certain things that is going to shift for you. There's a sense of, like, again, autonomy, self-starterness, go-getter energy. Interesting. And then underneath the King of Pentacles, we have this high honor. Again, this is what we're seeking, what we're going after, what we're looking for, what we're trying to achieve within this dream of ours. This coffin here feels, like I said, an ending to the way things may have been done before or perceived before, and a transformation into stepping into that confidence of being seen, to allow your originality to be shown, for you to temper the negative thoughts possibly that might come up, or the doubts that come up with this want of yours. But there is an ending to one particular cycle for sure, for you to be able to step into this dream, which is to step onto that bridge, right? Of originality, of brightness, of delight. Then we have concern underneath judgment. Sudden wealth underneath temperance. Oopsie. And then distant horizon underneath the Queen of Wands. So my lovelies, I feel, as we were talking about before, like there is, don't judge yourself too much. Don't overthink about it, you know, about where you're going. That's that concern I felt. Again, the high honor and the sudden wealth in the middle, it's like this is where your dream is, where you're going, regardless of it being about specifically monetarily, but like this. And again, it doesn't feel like it's sudden, but it might feel sudden for others, again, because you're cutting out a cycle, or you're cutting out people, or the way you used to do things before. And this distant horizon is that goal. It's like what you're aiming for, that dream, what you're trying to make into reality, that possibility of, you know, reaching for that. And that's that Queen of Wands energy, is that doing, that action, that going after it, that go-getter, that self-starterness, entrepreneurial. So my lovely, what Spirit wants for you is literally to make your dreams a reality for you. And that is stepping into that masculine and feminine energy, tempering that and balancing those, particularly for you, the pentacle energy, the earthly realm, and the emotional realm. So finding that and then transmuting that, transforming that into that Queen of Wands energy of this passionate, sensual, charismatic, self-starter, go-getter, ambitious, beautiful type of energy. So that is that goal for you, my love, that dream for you. And stay in your originality. Underneath this deck, you have main female, which is you, my viewer, regardless of gender. That is what Spirit wants for you. And underneath this deck, we have the World in the reverse. So interesting, because as I was saying, a cycle for you is completed. This is telling me here that as I was feeling that, they're like, one cycle is completed, but you're about to start the next. So that's the reason why it's in the reversal, because when you get here is when it starts to flip up. So in other words, they're showing it to me like this is where you are, and we getting to here, when we step here, you know, and then it starts to keep going. That's what I'm getting at. That's the feeling that they're showing me here with that world energy. I love that for you, 𝚆𝚏. So this transition is coming in for you. This dream is going to become real for you if you allow yourself to take those steps towards it full-heartedly, full confidence. All right, my lovelies, your closing message. What does Spirit want for you? Woo! How perfect! The 9 declarations. Oh my goodness. It says, meet life with full presence and power. Come on. Reclaim your agenda. Abso-freaking-lutely. Defeat your demons. Abso-freaking-lutely. Advance with abandon. Ooh, I like that. Advance with abandon, which is what I'm getting here, the end of that particular cycle. Practice joy and gratitude. It's been here in your sweet William flower. Do not break integrity, which is that your originality. Amplify love, again, what you want, your passions, your love, your desires. Inspire greatness, absolutely. And slow time. Do not feel the need to rush. Slow it down. Oh, my beautiful collective. I hope that served you. That was beautiful. I'm sending you the most amount of love. Please keep watering your lives. Until next time. Ciao. Welcome, my lovely pal-tus who chose the Neon Tarot. Let's get started and find out what Spirit wants for you. And we're starting with the Animal Spirit card, which will give us the main message of what Spirit wants. And you have the Crow Spirit. Beautiful. Co-create with Spirit. I love that. Number 17. So my pile-tus, what I feel for you is pretty clear. Spirit wants you to work with them more, to include them more, to incorporate them more into whatever it is that you do, either to follow your intuition more, to look for those signs and synchronicities, those symbols, those, I just heard auditory cues too, whether that's in music or conversations or TV shows for that example. But there's something about wanting to be more involved, or to allow Spirit to be more involved, with your process, whatever that means to you. Lovely. Let's see what the tarot has to add. We have the Ten of Swords in the reverse. Seven of Pentacles. And the Queen of Cups. Interesting. Pile 1 got the Queen of Cups in the other deck in the same position. Oh, I see. Spirit's talking about patience with you, Pile 2. They're really talking about not feeling the need to rush things or to take the lead in certain things. There's certain things that you're not supposed to be able to control. And that feels like in your past or in your most recent past, that's sort of been your MO. Been trying to really like not navigate, really direct and conduct almost like how things should or could play out. And I think for you in particular, there's something that they're referencing that you have to let go of that control and just trust in the timing of when things need to be and believe that it will happen. Again, more co-create with Spirit, like trust in them, give some of that responsibility possibly in your perception to Spirit, as opposed to it being, if I'm not doing enough, then nothing's really gonna happen. And again, Spirit is appreciative of the work you do, but there are certain things that they're like, yo, you can chill, like this is my job. You don't have to take my job from me. That's what I'm feeling from this. That's so funny. That's interesting though. They just said things will start to flow when you stop resisting. And the resistance is the need to control. Or the feeling of, if I don't do this, ABC will happen or shit will hit the fan. You know, there's something about, I guess it's supposed a lack of trust within the probability of Spirit coming to intervene and help. Maybe there's something about the perception of how you're seeing help, you know, when it comes to Spirit. Maybe, again, for an example, you're trying to look for like a grand gesture as opposed to the small, like I was talking about, those small synchronicities, auditory things, those kind of things that are really giving you the clues more so than the big hooplas of display of, I don't know, spirituality or some sort of magical event, you know? Okay, let's see the bridge, my loves. We have prime rose, youthful love. It says, if I had a single flower for every time I think of you, I could walk forever in my garden. Ooh, that's like spirit talking to you. I love that, this youthful love, and I think that's exactly what spirit's trying to say to you, my lovelies. It's like, if you knew how much we valued you, or how much we care for you, or how much you are taken care of, you'd be able to walk freely, without worry, without needing to control, without that fear that it won't work out in the way that you want it to or that you think it should. I'll read it again. If I had a single flower for every time I think of you, that is spirit, I could walk forever in my garden. That's what they want you to embody as you co-create with spirit. That is what they're going to do for you. Interesting with extremism, with Mercury in Scorpio. Sorry about that, friends. It just peed all over the place, and I'm going to handle it later. Anyhow, apologies for that interruption. As I was talking about when it comes to this extremism, I'm feeling two energies here. First energy I'm getting is the extreme of how much spirit is there for you. Like, it is intense and they are here for you, especially during your darker times or during your darker thoughts. That's what I'm getting. That's one. Two, they want you to step into that belief with an extreme amount of belief, of faith, of trust. You know, that you are taken care of. Yes, we want you still to do your work, but there are certain things that you need to allow yourself to let go. Because there's something about the extremes of something for you. Interesting. Let's see what's after this bridge. On the other side of the bridge, we have the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. So funny. That came out for pile 1, but their first card also in the reverse. Then we have the Seven of Wands in the reverse. Interesting. And then the Seven of Cups. Wow. Triple sevens on the board. And you have number 17. That might be really significant. 8s, 7 and 8s. So progression for you, but spiritual and material stability. So what I'm getting here for you after this bridge here is, again, I still feel like there's a slight resistance to trusting that spirit's got you. I think you are learning, I should say, this is what it feels like after this bridge, you're learning how to slowly let go of some of the control and allow for there to be more options or more possibilities for different outcomes, for even better outcomes for that matter. There's something really clear about you still being in resistance, you wanting to like let go. I'm hearing like, but how? Like, how do I let go? That's what I'm hearing right now. How do I let go? And I think it's just a matter of, like I said, like checking yourself in certain moments. For example, being like, I have to do A, B, C, D, da, 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 and then really look at it and be like, do I have to do that? Or do I only need to do A and D? You know what I mean? Like, there's something about you giving yourself more work than necessary. And that part of it keeps you preoccupied, your brain, your energy preoccupied, instead of letting it focus on whatever it is that you actually want. So then it becomes a state somewhat of possibility, sometimes of confusion. But that confusion, I think for you, my love, is kind of necessary because you've been so, like, particular about certain things. And right now they want you to be more focused on spirit. Like, give it to spirit. Trust in spirit. Trust your intuition. Allow there to be some sort of uncertainty, unknown. Play with that energy instead. Love that. All right. We have the gift underneath the Ten of Swords in the reverse. Number 17 again. Main female, which is my viewer, regardless of gender. That is what I think so far anyway, but we'll see. I will take this for here. Ha, that's so funny. Main female, that's probably why I said, well, I'll see. Then we have community. Oh, well, we'll wait. I'm not going to take community. Sorry, guys. I'm going to take this first. So, my lovely here, I feel this is what this spirit is telling you. This releasing is a gift for you to find yourself back in better harmony with self, that you're not teeter-tottering on two extremes. Union of masculine and feminine, the yin and the yang, of spirit and you. Trust is what I keep hearing. Just trust. We have not abandoned you and we will not leave you. Wealthy man, underneath the Three of Pentacles, in the reverse. Marriage. And then coffin. This is so interesting, pal, too. Because there's like an interesting flow of people in this bottom row here. So what I'm getting for you, my lovely, I think Spirit's trying to say to you, the merger or the marriage with Spirit, I feel, is going to give you more of what you're seeking and needing as opposed to it relying on people. Which is interesting energy to feel. This wealthy man underneath the Three of Pentacles, again, it's like you have to find the resources or that source within yourself. It's not outside of you. And again, that resistance that I'm feeling here is the resistance to merge with Spirit fully. And that's that coffin energy. They want a transformation for you, but you sort of kind of kibosh that possibility for you in moments. And that's coming back to that extreme energy. So what Spirit truly wants for you is just trust us. We are here with you. Please let us in. That's the energy. Let me in. Let me in. You know, and you again, that's the word. It's like a kibosh. This is interesting, pile 2. What's underneath this message? Yeah, love. Spirit has tons for you, tons of messages, and you are not wanting to take them. Or again, 7, not wanting to listen, not wanting to notice them even. Again, if they're like little synchronicities, you know? Interesting. And then you have the moon in reverse. Okay. The moon in reverse. There's something about your shadow side, and I think that's what I was talking about, especially in your dark times. There's an extreme that you go to when you're in that shadow energy or that doubt energy, that fear energy. It could be really heavy for you when you get to that in that spiral. I think Spirit's here just to remind you, we are here for you. We are here with you. Do not forget. We have not closed off our connection to you. We just want you to invite us back into your heart, to your space, to your psyche. Bring the things to light, bring up those shadow energies to recognize them and how you can find a better way to merge these energies within self. With Spirit. Interesting. the Chariot, this was just the normal card. So the Chariot's underneath that. Yeah. They want you to make a move, like to rein it in so you can make those movements. And then occupation, yeah. Make it your work, make it your job, make it your priority to get this sort of belief system within you that spirit is with you, co-creating with you. They have not left you alone. So don't rely too much, I feel, on the people around you to get that feeling for yourself. It's coming from somewhere else, and that's spirit, and that's from within. I love that for you. Let's find your closing messages here, my love. It says, we are not slave to our history. Come on. We can be freed by our conscious thoughts and disciplined habits. We are not slave to our history. We are not. We can be freed by our conscious thoughts, trust, and disciplined habits, my lovely. That is your message. That is what Spirit wants for you. That is what they're bringing to your attention. I hope this served you. I am sending you the most amount of love. Until next time, ciao. All right, welcome, my beautiful collective of pile 3. Let us find out what Spirit wants for you. We have Lion Spirit. Be generous of spirit. The first thing I heard is sharing your gifts. I'm hearing speaking your gifts, protecting your gifts. Spirit wants you to share more as an umbrella statement for you. Whether that be more of your mentorship, your time, your wisdom, your strength, your expertise, your actual gifts, spiritual gifts, your abilities, whatever that might be. There's a want and an ask for you to take the lead in giving more of yourself in an area where I'm feeling like I know that you would be really beneficial. Not entirely sure what that's fully encompassing, but it can be a whole bunch of areas of your life, pile 3. There's something also about like this calm gaze of that beautiful lion, you know? That instinct, that patience, the prowess, and the clarity of focus in how you give or what you bring about into the world. That's what I'm really feeling for you. All right, let's get some more context with your tarot deck that you've chosen. We have the Nine of Cups. Two of Wands in the reverse. And then the Two of Cups in the reverse. Interesting. I think that's the reason why Spirit mentioned mentor, because I'm getting a very strong like rehabilitation energy from you, meaning like you are able to give that or aid in that or mend in some way the rehabilitation of people, whether that be literal souls, whether that be energy, whether that be mentally, whether that be physically. It doesn't really matter in the specificity of how you reconcile, you know, for people and help people get there. Because there's this bounty or bountifulness, I would say, that you offer to situations. It's like giving clarity where things are not quite sure or understood, or a choice can't be made, there is confusion. That's definitely one energy I'm getting when it comes to that mentor energy. The other energy they're bringing up for me is the same thing, but applicable to yourself. Spirit wants for you to be more generous of spirit so that you can find more clarity or more confidence or more focus in whatever choice that you want or whatever choice that you make. Because there's something about not trusting your own plan or not trusting a plan and then being disappointed with that choice, or not going after something and then again, it's about pretty much it's a fear of making the wrong choice. That's what this feels like here. And very fitting after a chapter of a book I was reading this morning was this particular lesson was to put your focus on the end goal. What do you want as that end goal? Not so much on that process. Yes, we all need a plan. We all have our things to look at, but you don't have to be bound by that plan. You understand the data, so to speak, but you can play within that area now, understanding it. And I think that's kind of what it is. Don't be afraid to sort of make the wrong choice, because inevitably it will hopefully lead you to either more strength, more generosity of spirit, or again, what you fear might be keeping you stuck in the same place or not able to step forward. So ultimately, I'm feeling here sort of the antidote for that is for that vulnerability. That's the key, right? Fear is restrictive. And if we're trying to control, certain things that are out of our, meaning that there are other things that can interfere or play into our perceived linear reality, And there's other things that are going to be intermingled, and I feel that's why you sort of have to find that flow within, which is bountiful within you. And I think if you share more of that, possibly for you, the plan might become more clear. You might be more confident in the choices or choice you've made or are making. But it's asking to give of yourself more in a particular way for you. Very interesting. Let's see the connecting energy here. We have hydrangea. Thankfulness for understanding. It says, before we can forgive one another, we have to understand one another. And I think that's exactly what we were getting into here, my love. Understanding that fear is probably restricting you in some capacity of being able to share more of yourself. And Spirit's reminding you here, or wanting you, what they want for you is that knowing that you are bountiful, you have everything that you can need to make whatever plan, choice, decision that is unclear to you with confidence. Because the end goal for you, possibly based on what these cards are as an example or as one area of your life, is a wonderful choice of a companion, friend, lover, a plan to move forward together in the future with the same sort of trajectory, the same kind of goal, the same kind of focus. Community, harmonious, wish fulfillment in that energy. Like that's what you're hoping for, right? And in some regard, your Spirit's saying you're not being as generous or as open as you may want to be or feel that you may have been being, if that makes sense. Thankfulness for understanding. And I think you beginning to understand more about yourself, or how you might be, again, fear being restrictive with some of your energy, or possibly just with some of your beliefs, that it's going to hopefully get you to open up even more. Order, the moon in Scorpio. That's what I was talking about, that control. That's what I'm getting from this particular order in this energy here. It's like trying to control some things that sometimes you cannot. Like there is other factors at play here. And what they're wanting you to do is organize or order, or put in order, what you might be resisting when it comes to feeling comfortable or safe enough to share in your generous spirit. And share of, I should say, your generous spirit. Let's continue. Six of Swords in the reverse. Page of Wands in the reverse. Ace of Swords. I feel Spirit is telling you that, fortunately but unfortunately, you cannot move away or run away from this particular feeling or situation before you really understand and put in order what it is that you are resisting. You have to find the truth or the clarity of that for yourself, whatever that might be. But where is it that you are resisting in some way to not feel or allow yourself to fully be seen or fully express or fully show up in some other area of your life that you may have been giving like 75% when you know you could probably give a little, like an extra 20, you know? Yeah, there's something interesting about the Six of Swords in the reverse and the Page of Rods. Because it doesn't feel like you are. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't feel like you're running away from this, but it feels a little stagnant, almost circular. It almost feels like you're like in a boat in a pond as opposed to a vast ocean or a body of water. And so like you're just paddling around in this sort of circle, which sort of creates this mini whirlwind or, you know, little mini vortex going down, which again spirals you into the lack of movement or fear or the resistance. And why I think Spirit is bringing up order for you is, especially with that scorpionic energy, is within the depths of your emotions and your feelings, what's not in order here? What might be out of alignment or what's out of balance? And maybe sharing more of whatever it is that you discover, whatever it is that you might be feeling, instead of keeping it hidden possibly, or within the mind and not like just getting it out verbally in some way that is perpetuating this pattern for you. So they want you to find that clarity, that truth, that honesty within yourself to be, where am I not allowing myself to be generous in my spirit? Where do I not feel safe enough possibly to allow myself to go there in that energy? So thankfulness and understanding. Before we can forgive one another, we have to understand one another. So right now, start with understanding what you need, and then if there are other people or another person involved, that's your next step. Beautiful, pal 3. This is interesting. Your energy has me like really calm. Yeah, it's really calm. I don't feel any like extra pushes in my physical body when I'm reading. This first card out, thoughts. Unexpected income. And letter. You know what's interesting here? I'm getting like, for some, or this again might just be another layer to the situation, it almost feels like you were given, you were presented in some way with an offer of some kind. Like whether that be money, a relationship, a proposal, an invitation, I don't know, but there's something that it feels like you were offered here, completely feels for you slightly unexpected, even though I know that there have been thoughts about it, but like not concrete, I guess would be the right word. Yeah, it really does feel like there was like an offer of some kind and you're kind of like, you know, I'm not really sure that we're, again, like moving in the same direction, or we're in the same headspace, we're in the same feeling. There's something, again, resisted here. And again, I'm not entirely sure what that might be. And coming back to this, before we can forgive one another, we have to understand one another. So maybe there's something about you needing to understand or needing more information for you to feel more safe, to be more generous of spirit, for you to feel order in whatever this might feel, or however this might feel unexpected for you. This is interesting, pile 3. Let's continue. Privileged lady. Ooh, it just... Okay, so the candle just went out with the coffin. Now that is interesting. Oh my goodness. Hold on, I'm not taking these. Hold on. And then we have poverty. Interesting set of cards that came out for you on the second half here, friends. There's something like you don't want to give up something. And again, I don't know if this is a good or bad thing, because if what spirit wants for you is be generous of spirit, and you're hesitating on combining something or joining with something or someone in some way, there's a feeling of like either losing freedom, losing privilege, losing money, or assuming that it's going to eat away somehow at you. That will leave you like poverty-stricken or leave you alone, or that's the fear, that's the resistance. So whatever that belief is, whyever that belief is, that's what they want you to get in order with. That's the clarity that they're seeking for you. So also be generous or gentle with yourself, my love, while you go through this process, because there's a feeling of not wanting your like life or your freedom or your, again, privileges or your, I don't know, way of being to be interrupted in a way that depletes. And I'm not sure why you feel that way, my loves of collective of pile 3, but that's what you have to look at and get back to me and let me know what you find. Because this is hard. It's like the best way I can describe this, if this was me, it would feel like this is how I would present it. Spirit's telling me to be a little bit more generous, maybe a little bit more open, maybe a little bit more communicative. And now all of a sudden I get, let's say, a proposal, like an actual romantic proposal. And that could be like for, you know, long term, or it could be meaning like, let's go like actually start dating, or let's get engaged, or you're getting engaged, or you're actually getting married. Like there's some sort of like feeling of permanency in this type of commitment, even though nothing's permanent. You know what I mean? Like there's this feeling of that. And that coming in here, kind of unexpected, not necessarily anticipating that this would go to that extent, but possibly keeping it at the back of your mind that it's a possibility, you know? And then being a little bit confused about how to go about it, because you're still not quite sure as to like, how did this come up all of a sudden, or why didn't I feel this, or why am I not feeling something more, or something along those lines. Again, I'm speaking as if this was me. And then what I'm looking at here is not being able to sort of find the answer, get away from the situation at hand, and now I'm feeling sort of blocked off, that now whatever I valued now is in hyper focus, you know, as in like my freedom, my alone time, my money, my friends, you know, like my energy, like all of that, like where is that going to? Am I willing to sacrifice this? It could be something along those lines. That's what this feels like, if it was like the best way I could describe it for me right now in the feeling. But again, it does not have to be with a romantic situation. It just feels like there's something that's wanting to join with you in some way that you're not entirely necessarily on board with for some reason. And that generous spirit feels probably a little bit more like, be clear about what that is so that you can communicate that more clearly, so that there is order to this understanding, to this situation, so that you can find some understanding within one another or within the situation. Wow, 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 wow. Woo! Pile 3. Nuts. Okay. So my love, I think Spirit really, like I said, communication wants you to clarify what you need or what you want for yourself. Communicate to whoever, whatever involved, organize the thoughts and the emotions. Know that you are bountiful. Like, it's not like something or someone I feel is necessarily going to take that away from you unless you give up too much of something, which might mean that you may not be fully healed from something or fully ready for something at the moment. But are you self-sabotaging, or is it legitimately something that one has to really look at, and or just jump in regardless of the fear? You know? And that's for you to decide. So I think the main focus right now for you is just be generous to your spirit and be generous of spirit. Underneath this deck. Woo, that's what you're afraid of. Okay. That's it right here. You're afraid of being a false person. That's exactly what this is. Like a false flame, a false love, getting tricked. That's exactly what I'm feeling in some capacity. And underneath the deck, wow. The Fool. King of Cups in the reverse. Wow. Okay, friends. Like, I'm not going to tell you what to do in this particular scenario. However, I understand entirely how you feel. This Fool energy can be two things. You don't want to feel like the Fool. You don't want to start again from ground zero is also what I'm getting. However, this is also talking about taking that risk, taking that leap of faith that you will land, so to speak, or you will be held or cradled or in a safety net to some degree. Again, that's a twofold message. That just depends on you. However, based on this false person, high honors underneath that. Like, they might have like everything you might want, but there's a feeling here, my friends. There's just a feeling here that just doesn't feel at the moment fully right for you. Anyway, let's get your closing message. You gotta let me know about this one, Pile 3. This is your closing message. You can pause if you like. It says, I won't let others stoke fear in my heart. I choose to remain true to who I am and where my dreams direct me, no matter the hardship I might incur. Damn, Pile 3. Damn. That's quite literally it, loves. That's it. I won't let others stoke fear in my heart. And whatever that might be, whether that you being forced into this, being like it's the best choice, or you being a fear of it, being like, I can't do this. There's some things regardless that you need to look at and choose to remain true to who you are when where your dreams are directing, which I was talking about, that focus, that strength, that pride, you know, no matter the hardships that you might incur. So maybe this, as an example, might be worth the poverty at the end, even though I don't think it's like that, but it might feel like that when something ends or something. You know what I mean? Like, it just depends on how you're translating all of these messages for your particular situation. Wow, my beautiful collective of Pile 3, I hope that served you. Please let me know if this resonated. I'm sending you the most amount of love. Until next time, please keep honoring your lives. Ciao. Welcome, my Pile 4s. Let's find out what Spirit wants for you. You have beautiful, dear Spirit, bring a gentle touch. Well, I feel Spirit is pretty clear for you. They're asking you to sort of lighten your approach to certain things, and to bring your natural, gentle touch to certain areas of your life. There's a tenderness here. There's a very motherly, nurturing energy, yet there's a very youthful, childlike energy to this too. I'm also getting a spiritual completion of inner child healing. And again, the process is never ending. However, there's a particular situation or trauma or event that the spiritual cycle of completion is happening. Like, you're at the very end of it now. So I think there's, again, bring a gentle touch to what's happening for you, to yourself, to the healing that I feel is going on here, to the completion of something for sure. Again, there's a very strong feminine energy, and it feels, I'm not in the crone energy of this motherly archetype. It's like child, maiden, mother, almost, you know? Like, it's It's that progression. I know it's only maiden, mother, crone, but I'm saying like it's child, maiden, mother, and this energy that I'm feeling. They're also telling me like a gentle touch to your beauty too. Like if you wear makeup, um, or skincare routine. Like there's something about either gentler products, if it's lighter application, if it's more natural look, if it's going back to your natural hair color, or if it's warming up your hair tone. Like there's something about like softening everything aesthetically to approaches. That's interesting. All right, and I'm getting like a very warm autumn feel. A lot of home decorating or redecorating. Beautiful. Feminine energy. Lovely. Okay. It feels that's where we're heading. Let's see what the tarot has to add. We have the Six of Swords. Judgment. I think it's the Jeffersons. I just heard moving on now, moving on. That's what I just heard. I don't know why. But we'll see. And then the Ace of Wands. I love that. Pile 4. It feels like whatever it is that you have, again, like I said, moving on from, whatever you're getting rebirthed out of, or getting a second chance, or a redo, so to speak, it is with the utmost passion, creativity, excitement. But it's like, that's the underlying energy. Like your surface energy is, like I said, it's Spirit wants you to be gentle touch, but underneath the fire is brewing. It is blazing, you know, in a sense of like ambition and excitement and joy and love and that kind of fire, you know? It's not the visible do. You're doing all of it, but it's just, as they say, very demure. That's exactly it. I'm not a person for fads. Like, I'm not. Trust me, I'm definitely not. So this is, and that just popped in. So I'm like, that's exactly what this is. It's very demure. That's hilarious. Okay, let's see this connecting energy here. Hibiscus, beauty and happiness. What was I just talking about? Quite literally. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Amen. Right? Like this soft, gentle touch, this rebirth energy, this spiritual completion, this, again, a new start, this creativity, this passion. I was talking about beauty and aesthetics earlier too. Beautiful. And then caution. Interesting. We have Mercury in Scorpio. So what I'm feeling first is, I don't know why, but I don't feel like this applies really deeply for you, but it might come up in pockets as we are human. And it feels like don't get swept up in too much of the, I wouldn't say fantasy, but into the fuzziness of that softness. You know, like that you don't become the pushover or too docile or too submissive in areas where you don't want to be, of course, you know, too fragile. It's interesting that you have like deer here and deer, antelope, hyenas. Yeah, predator and prey, right? So like, yeah, there's something about the strengthening of that softness somehow, which is probably why this fire is underneath. So maybe this transmutation of whatever it is that you are healing from, that I was feeling, you know, or you're at the completion of, is, again, a blank slate, right? So be cautious of what, I guess, how much you're feeding of the other. I think it's just talking about be equally balanced in that gentle and the hard. You know, like that's what I'm feeling right here. Yeah, like toe the middle line. Interesting, interesting. But right now you're cultivating this feminine energy is what I really truly feel. Like you're asked to embody that more while this fire is building. However, just be cautious that we don't get somehow lost in the sauce in some way as we are rebooting ourselves, you know? Interesting. Let's continue. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, again, that balancing, right? To be cautious of that over kilter or over tilting in one area. We have the Eight of Swords in the reverse. Nice. And then we have the Ten of Swords in the, the Five of Swords in the reverse. All right. I dig it. So my love, that's, as I was saying, like needing that balance to toe the middle line, to try to make that decision for yourself or to find that middle ground for yourself. That's what you're doing. That's why you're not really stuck in that thought. You are doing it well is what I feel. So I think they're just like, be gentle with your approach as you rebuild or recalibrate this fractal of your soul, this fractal of your being, you know? Because you're no longer fighting with whatever. Again, like I said, you're moving on. The judgment has been passed. You have been reborn. The fire has been lit now. And they just don't want you to or burn out, so to speak, in whichever area or modality that you're embodying first. Just make sure that you toe that middle line and you come back to that balance. You relook at everything. Obviously, it doesn't feel like you're getting stuck in your head at all, and you're not fighting with any of those. Again, there's a really deep sense of spiritual healing here, my loves. The only caution, or again, the only caution for you is that just toe the middle line. That's beautiful. I love that. Let's get some more. Okay, give me a second. Too many at once. I need to know the order. Okay, pile 4. Let's get it. Thoughts. Wow. Pile 3 had the same card in the same spot. Wow. False person. Oh my goodness. And privileged lady. The thing is, all 3 of these cards were in the last pile also, and I shuffled these several times before I started this filming. So I'm not entirely sure what that means. However, maybe there's just some overlapping energies in the collective. I don't think that there's really any messages in pile 3 for you per se, but if you are drawn to pile 3, there might be another message applied for you. Regardless. So this thoughts energy here with this moving forward, again, we have already done this, I feel, my lovelies. And I think this judgment energy, or this rebirth energy I'm getting from judgment, this sort of second chance, is releasing the old version of you, the false version of you, the false people, the false whatever, the false beliefs. It is no longer a part of you. That's what I'm getting from this energy. And this privileged lady here is coming out anew. Like I said, this rebirth. So I'm getting here this thoughts about how you have either healed, merged, understood, has led you to this new start, this new passion, this new place of being, you know? So I think that you are now more cautious of that energy within yourself and within the people or surroundings. I think you're better equipped. And I think that's why eventually you will find that balance for yourself if you're not already in that process currently, because it feels like you're pretty much there. Mature woman, yeah, like pretty much there. Like, you know what to do. You have matured. Like I said, didn't I talk about that baby mother crone, right? A baby maiden crone, and now I'm feeling this crone energy with this mature woman. So I feel like you get there, you mature, you level up quite literally. Courthouse. Yeah, because it's like this judgment, like the judgment has already been made. I know that you might be going into this a new set now, right? So it's like now I have how would I word this? I'm better equipped. That's what I'm saying, to go into this next cycle for myself, this next judgment cycle, this next spiritual cycle for myself. I'm better equipped, more prepared. Message of concern. That's the caution they're telling me. So when I'm piecing these messages together for you, my loves, Spirit's bringing me to caution here. It's like, because you've matured or leveled up in some way, there is going to be a resistance naturally. So you towing the middle line of not being too soft and being able, like I said, to handle whatever might come up for you, whatever concerns, whatever doubts you might have, or whatever people that might come to attest or contend with this new beautiful version of you, balanced, healed, and in harmony, are going to get a bad taste in their mouth, because they're not going to be ready for this version of you. That's one thing for sure that I'm getting. Like, they're going to be like sorely mistaken that they tried to come at you in the same way they may have tried before. That's one energy. The other energy I'm getting here is, as a side note, if there was something, like I said, that you were, again, this childhood trauma or some sort of energy from your past, that you have finally completed that cycle, it does also kind of lend to legalities, like actually legally making people accountable for actions done in the past. You know, regardless of whatever that might have been, that there is an echo to that too. So that's a possibility of that is a part of your past history and scenario, possibly presently. Wow. Let's see what's underneath this deck here. We have marriage. Again, this merger of self is what I'm feeling here. This also could be, you know, sorry guys, for some of you here, excuse me, for all of you here, this is about a merging of the self, right? The emergence of the self and the merging of self. The marriage of the old version and that childlike, excuse me, your inner child that you are healing and are rebuilding right now. That is the marriage I'm getting most prominently. The second energy is, when it comes to this side, being like a side matter or a byproduct of possibly some of your past. Maybe that might be the reason why you chose a particular partner. That might be the partner that you're with. It might be the marriage that you grew up in, meaning like your parents' marriage. Like, how did that affect the choices that you made moving forward? All of that. There's this extra like subtext to this card, I feel, for you. And then the Three of Wands. I love that. I think there's like a vindication for you here. Like a freedom for you. That's what it feels like. There's a freedom, a merging of self, and a freedom from something else, a freedom from the old version, or a feeling of freedom. Doesn't really matter. The point is that whatever it is that you're waiting for or waiting to come in for you, it is on its way. Because if you allow yourself to stay in this, if you allow yourself to play with this gentle touch energy while this fire is being ignited, and you're cautious of towing that middle line and keeping that strength and that soft and that hard in harmony, I feel that yeah, man, look at that, your arrival, the Two of Cups. That's exactly what I feel. Your arrival will be great. And the concern, yeah, Yeah, so I'll leave that for you guys to, specify for your own situation, but let's close it off for you, my loves. Sorry, before I look at this, just to recap, my lovely spirit, I feel spirit is proud of the work that you have done, and you have reversed or flipped something. Like you flipped the paradigm again, the completion of this cycle, but they're bringing me to like the 9, the 8, the 1 and the 8, and then the 6. Like you flipped something from what was underneath or in the shadows or not healed into the light, and it is now being healed or has been healed or is in the process of healing. As you continue to toe that middle line of remaining strong while you're still pliable, while you're still able to be influenced in a positive way by the universe and the life that you have. Stepping into this maturity and knowing the choices that you want, regardless of whatever issues might come up, it's coming for you, the good, All right. You can pause if you like. It says, we must mature. I'll make this shut up. We must mature and realize that freeing our mind of ancient hurts and opening once more to love shall give us access to divine strength. There is something about that. So that marriage could be here. That could be like finding that right love or for that right partner, the right people, the right energies, etc., the right choice. Quite literally, it's the right choice for you. So whatever that might be in your approach, be gentle to yourself and to what you discover and to what you decide, because I think it's lovely. That's what spirit wants for you, my love. I am sending you the most amount of love. I hope this served you. Until next time, please keep watering your lives. Ciao.